Hi friends, Mindy here. I have a review of a Bible to share with you today. This is the ESV Journaling Bible, the Interleaved edition. This Bible was sent to me from Crossway to review for you, and I wanted to share it. If you've seen my channel before, this will look very familiar because I have used this type of Bible before. Again, this is the ESV version. This is the cover that I have is the natural leather, which is brown. It has a flap that has a strap that wraps around. And that's the one I have had previously, but there is another cover option if that's something that you're interested in. I'm just going to flip this over to the back. So the ESV is a mostly word for word translation, and it is designed so that there is an empty page, a blank page between each full page of text. That's what the interleaved edition is. And there are plenty of places for you to do your sermon notes or personal reflection, prayers. If you are like me and you do artwork in your Bible, this is a good way to do that as you're kind of processing those things that you're learning as you study. So every page in between has a blank page. The Bible paper itself is a cream colored paper. The font is 7.5 type. Here's an example actually on the back of what that actually looks like. That's the actual type size. That may seem a little bit small, but it's actually very readable, and it's in the double column format. And there is a ribbon marker, and there are other ESV versions, obviously. Again, I really like this particular style, especially for the interleaved. Let me just pull this out, and it's got that great leather smell. So let me just put this box to the side here for a second. This is the strap that comes with it. There's even directions in here on how to attach this strap. Because it's so long, because it wraps around, I tend to kind of leave this off just so that I can add it at the end to kind of keep everything close, but I'm not fighting with it as I'm working through the Bible. And so I just want to kind of show you a side-by-side comparison. So this is brand new out of the box. This is one that I have had for a couple years that I have worked in, and you can see the difference in the leather. I absolutely love this. It feels so nice. But what I really love about it is the ability to take this strap, especially if you're doing artwork in here, because it's going to create, some chunk to the Bible. This is just a great way to be able to keep everything secure, and then you have your strap that's going to keep everything closed, but also it's going to kind of grow with you. You can see mine has gotten quite chunky, especially down here in the New Testament. And so I was really excited to get another one so that I can work in that as well. And the leather softens up just, the way that leather does. So I'm just going to open it up. So you have at the very front here, you do have, the Bible belongs to page or your dedication page. And then you have, of course, your table of contents and your publishing information as well. And then there's an introduction to here. And then there's also a preface. This is giving you some information if you're unfamiliar with the ESV. This is giving you some information about that translation. And then there's some features in here about the way that the text is laid out. And then we're right into the text itself. And you can see here, there are some footnotes and things down here at the bottom. And then between every page is this blank page of text. These are cream colored pages. They're a nice weight as well. And I have found they hold watercolor really well. You can do kind of a lot. I've even done like texture paste and all kinds of things in here. You do have the ribbon marker, and then there's actually a pen loop back here. I can tell you, if you were taking this Bible around, that might be very helpful to you. This is a pretty big Bible, and it's pretty heavy. So mine always stays with me at home. I study from multiple different Bibles. And so this is not my study Bible. This is my Bible that I kind of process what I'm learning. And so I don't take this to church with me. It's not my note-taking Bible. But because again, it's pretty big, it's pretty heavy because it's got the addition of all of those extra pages in here. So, but if you're taking it with you, there is a little pen loop here to do that as well. And then I'm just going to kind of flip to the back. So there are not a lot of like study materials. This is not a study Bible necessarily. This is more for note-taking and personal reflections and that kind of thing. But there are just a couple of things in the back. You have some weights and measures again, just quick references when you're talking about like omers and those kinds of things. And then there's a reading plan in the back, which I really like as well. So it goes January through December, and it's kind of split up where you're reading a couple chapters of the Old Testament, so a psalm, and then some in the New Testament, and then we'll get you through the Psalms a couple of times actually through the year. And then I actually like to use these pages. I will go kind of in the margin, and I will do like pen testing in the background. I'll test some of my inks, highlighters, whatever, just to kind of see what I have and how it's going to work. The great thing is if you're working in this Bible, you don't really have to worry about anything bleeding through because you're doing all of your notes on a blank paper. And so anything that's going to bleed through, you can cover up on the back side, and you don't have to worry about covering up the text with your artwork or anything like that. And so, so I really love the interleaved version. It's just a lot of fun to work with. It gives you a bigger space to be able to create, to record your prayers and your thoughts or your takeaways from the passage of study that you're working on. And it's just great. So I'm just want to show kind of just a comparison actually to my last Bible, just so you can kind of see that you can really do a lot in here. Just slide this off, and also just kind of notice the difference, the kind of the wear that you get out of the leather, which I just think is such a neat feature, because I really love this. I've had this one for a few years. I didn't really work in it consistently. I kind of work off and on. I do work in other journaling Bibles and that kind of stuff too, but I do have this page here that was done with some acrylic paint. I have some texture paste, some marker and things as well. And you can see there's a little bit of color, but that's just really from me being messy, and it came to the backside. But again, because you're working on an interleaved page, even if something does bleed through, it's very easy to cover up. So I've even done some texture paste, let's see, right here on there, and it worked really well. Some texture paste and some stamping. And you can really, make these pretty chunky. That's one of the things that I really like about this, because of the spine and because of the way that it's sewn and everything. You can get these pretty chunky, and then you have this flap that with this strap closure that is really going to just keep everything together. It's going to keep everything, the edges of your Bible pages from getting, torn up or whatever. And then as your Bible gets chunky, you have this nice flap or this nice strap to just keep everything together, and it kind of grows with you. So anyway, this is the interleaved ESV Crossway Bible. I'm very excited to start working with this. You will probably see some entries in this Bible very soon. I do love that the strap is separate and that you can add it after the fact, just because I added that one on this other Bible. I added it at the beginning, but every time, I was just kind of having to fiddle with it. So I'll definitely kind of keep this off until the end, but there are some instructions on how to do that as well. And then once it starts getting a little bit chunky, I may go ahead and add it in there just to kind of keep everything contained. But it has a lovely binding, and over time, when you first kind of open it up, it's going to feel maybe a little bit tight. The leather is kind of, pretty firm, but it will soften up over time, and you'll be able to work in it very easily. I'm very, very excited to have another interleaved Bible to work in. Really love this format. Here you can see the double columns. So if you have any questions about this Bible, feel free to leave those down in the description. I'll try to answer those as best as I can. And like I said, there are some footnotes and things down in here, but this is not really designed to be a study Bible necessarily, where you have, pages and pages of notes and those kinds of things in here. But I really love this Bible for working and really kind of just processing through what I'm learning through my studies. And so it just gives a good palette for place for artwork. And the pages are not, they're cream, but they're not like the real yellowy cream color. I have other Bibles that are kind of more of a yellow tone. I actually really like this as well. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to leave those down below. Thank you again to Crossway for sending me this Bible. I'm very excited about it. If you liked this video, I would appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And until next time, bye.